study for people with relapsing MS and early progressive MS. And one of the reasons why they're not more widely available is because traditionally in clinical trials, when researchers wanted to prove whether a drug could help people or not, it's often based on whether the drug can help somebody's ability or improve somebody's ability to walk. So what that means is if you couldn't walk very far, or if you're using a wheelchair, traditionally you've been excluded from being taking part in clinical trials. And what that means really is there just wasn't any evidence to say whether preventing immune attacks in people who, for instance, use a wheelchair would be beneficial. So we're hoping to change that. And so Chariot MS is looking at whether a drug called cladribine can help people with advanced MS maintain the use of their arms and their hands. And it's the first study that's specifically been designed for people with advanced MS. It's open to people with, there's no upper age limit, so anybody of any age can join. So it's a really good example of the direction of research that's becoming much more inclusive for people with all types of MS, all levels of disability and all ages. And so really fantastic trial, and it's open for recruitment. So if anybody is interested, the website is on there, or we can share some more information afterwards. Another trial which is starting very, very soon in the next few months is looking at myelin repair. And it's testing whether a combination of two drugs, one of them is metformin, which is quite a common drug that's used to manage diabetes, and another drug called clemastine, which is actually an antihistamine. And research has shown that those drugs combined together can actually promote myelin repair in rats. So this trial is hoping to see if it will have the same effect in humans. So as I said, it will begin recruitment in a few months' time. It's a phase 2 trial, so if it's successful, the researchers really hope that it will then go forward to a phase 3 trial. So that means it just needs to be tested in a larger number of people before it can be made available. But another very exciting trial that will be starting very soon. Up next, we have the MS STAT2 trial, which has been going for quite some time now, so you might have heard of it. This one is a trial that's looking at ways we can protect the nerves from damage. So in particular, they're testing a drug called Silvastatin, which is actually a cholesterol lowering drug, to see if it can protect nerves and slow progression in people with secondary progressive MS. This one is actually a phase 3 trial. So what that means is it's at the end stage of its research journey. So if it's shown that it can protect nerves and it's safe for people with MS, it means it could be licensed as the first ever treatment for people with MS that could protect their nerves. So for this one, recruitment has already closed, and they managed to recruit nearly 1,000 people with secondary progressive MS to take part, which is really, really fantastic. Hopefully we'll have some early results to share in either late 2024 or early 2025, but really, really fantastic groundbreaking trial that has hopefully a lot of promise. This is being led by Jeremy Chatway, who is also leading our trial Octopus, which I know you will want to hear about. So Octopus is hoping to test new treatments for everybody with progressive MS, so secondary and primary. But it's different because it should hopefully speed up the time that it takes to find a new treatment for progressive MS, so up to 3 times faster. It can take around 15 years normally for a drug to be developed, and that's because we have to go through sort of lots of rigorous different stages. There's normally 3 stages of trials, and in between each of those stages you've got to apply for funding. Each time you have to recruit a new cohort of people to take part in your trial. There's lots and lots of reasons why it takes so long, but we've designed Octopus specifically to try and overcome some of those barriers. And the reason that it should be so much quicker is because it's what we call a multi-arm, multi-stage trial. Sometimes we call it a MAMS trial. But in short, what that means is that we're hoping to be able to test multiple treatments at the same time. So in traditional clinical trials, we tend to test only one drug, but hopefully we'll be able to test more than one. Well, I know we'll definitely test more than one. I think we're hoping to start with 2, which will be then compared to a placebo drug as well. So, and the other reason why we hopefully it will be a lot quicker is that it will be merging 2 clinical trials into one mega trial. So instead of running a phase 2 trial to see if a drug works well and then taking it to a phase 3 trial, those 2 phases will be merged. So it really significantly shortens the time frame. And it's also been designed so that we can add new drugs to the trial as they're found. So instead of setting up lots of separate clinical trials, if we discover another treatment that has really good potential, we'll add it to the trial as another arm. But equally, if some treatments aren't looking like they're successful during the trial, then we'll stop testing them early. But I'll show you a very short video that will probably explain it in a much more succinct way. Hopefully this will play for you.
Meet Octopus, the world's first multi-arm, multi-stage trial for MS. Octopus will speed up development of treatments for progressive MS by bringing together several trials into one mega-trial. Here's how it works. Octopus will compare several potential treatments with a single placebo. Each treatment is an arm of the trial. Partway through the trial, we'll use MRI to get a sneak preview of which treatments are likely to go on to slow disability progression. So we can drop treatments that don't show promise and slot in new ones as they're discovered. And if a treatment looks promising, we won't need to set up a separate, larger trial. Instead, hundreds more people will join that arm to see if it does slow disability progression. We hope people with progressive MS will be able to join Octopus in late 2021. Find out more at mssociety.org.uk/octopus.
So you'll probably notice that video is slightly odd. We're a bit behind schedule with Octopus. It's not quite open for recruitment yet. We're hoping it's not too long. It will definitely be this year, but the trial team are still finalising which drugs will be tested first. What we do know is that there'll be repurposed drugs, so they're ones that we know are already safe in other conditions, and that also is what makes the trial a little bit quicker than normal. And we have a whole group of experts that are advising the trials team on which drugs are the most likely to effectively slow or even stop progression. So only the best candidates will get through at the beginning. But if you are interested in the trial and you have progressive MS, you can register your interest now. And when the trial starts, the team will get in touch with anybody who's registered their interest. So please do that if you are interested. And just a final note, if you are interested in research and taking part, there are so many ways to get involved, whether it's a clinical trial, you can even leave your brain to research. We have a tissue bank, we have a research network. So if you're interested in helping to shape and help us decide which trials to fund, you can join that. And we also have our MS Register, which is an online database where you answer regular surveys about your MS so that researchers can use to help understand more about MS. But I will leave that there and I'll answer any of your questions if you put them in the chat.